He opened his eyes, and the skyline was wrong. The city had his name, but it wasn't his world. It started with silence, not the ordinary kind, the kind that presses in like a vacuum sealing your ears. James Mercer blinked awake on a park bench he didn't remember falling asleep on. The air was cool, the sky amber, familiar, but wrong. He sat up slowly. In front of him, across a wide square, a glowing sign flashed. "Welcome to Mercer City." His last name. His city? He'd never lived anywhere with that name. Never even heard of it. James checked his pockets, phone, keys, wallet. His phone wouldn't unlock. His fingerprint was denied. Then it restarted with a logo he'd never seen before. Orbite OS. Cars slid silently down the street. No engines, just a whirring hum. They looked decades ahead of his time, low, metallic, shimmering like water under moonlight. Pedestrians walked by wearing sleek glasses, murmuring softly to unseen voices. No one looked surprised to see him. No one recognized him either. He stood, stretching limbs that ached as if he'd run a marathon. Across the square was a newsstand. Paper still existed here. That was something. He grabbed a copy. Mercer City Daily. The date read the 14th of June, 2025, right. That was today. But the headline chilled him. 10 years since the Skywall incident. Skywall? What the hell was that? James flipped through the paper. An article showed an aerial image of a glass dome stretching over a cityscape, the same skyline he saw now. His heart thumped. This wasn't New York or Chicago. It looked like both. Skyscrapers blended with monolithic curves and glowing spires, like a future version of his memories. He needed answers. A coffee shop nearby might be a place to start, somewhere he could watch and listen. He walked in. No cash registers, just facial scans and retinal IDs. He stepped aside as others ordered seamlessly. A friendly barista noticed his hesitation. "Tourist?" she asked with a smile. "Or evacuee?" He stammered. "Evacuee." The word tasted strange. The barista nodded. "You'll need a pass soon. They've tightened movement since the tunnels reopened." Tunnels. Movement passes. His stomach twisted. What was this place? The coffee at least was free for evacuees. The barista handed him a steaming cup. He found a corner booth and sat. Outside the window, a black van with Civic Watch printed on the side rolled past slowly, scanning pedestrians. A child pointed at James through the glass and said something to their parent, something he couldn't hear. The parent pulled the child close and walked away quickly. Was he different here? Dangerous? Or just out of place? James sipped the coffee. It had a metallic tang, like it had been purified too much. He caught his reflection in the window. Same brown eyes, same scruffy beard, but something subtle was off his jaw. Looked more angular. His hair, grayer. A woman sat across from him suddenly. No hello, just a whisper. "You're not supposed to be here, are you?" James froze. "What makes you say that?" She leaned in. "You're not wearing an implant, no ID signature. You're a ghost in Mercer." He swallowed hard. "I think I woke up here. I don't know how." She nodded. "Parallel breach. You must have crossed during REM. Parallel breach. REM." Her tone was casual, like explaining traffic. "They'll find you," she added. "Civic Watch doesn't miss ghosts for long." He whispered, "Then help me. Get me out." She considered him. "You'll need a key code and a memory anchor." Her eyes darted toward the window. "They're coming." She slipped something into his hand. A thin silver disc no larger than a coin. "Fine tow 19 reals. Ask for Len." The woman was gone before he could reply. blended into the crowd like a shadow. The disc in his palm glowed faintly. He left the cafe through the back, stepping into an alley that smelled of ozone and rain. Distant sirens rose, not police sirens, something deeper, mechanical. A giant screen on the side of a building blinked on. Security sweep in Sector B3. Complete or be identified. His location glowed, B3. James ran through narrow lanes and neon-soaked corridors, past whispering walls and sensor posts that hummed as he passed. He ducked into a parking structure. A man slept in a corner, wrapped in holographic blankets. James tapped him. Tow 19 reals? The man woke with a start. You got a key code? James showed him the disc. He sniffed. Lens on level 6. Elevator's voice. Locked. James approached the rusted elevator. Tow 19 reals, level 6, he said. It buzzed, scanned his face, then grudgingly opened. The elevator groaned as it rose. On the mirrored panel, his reflection seemed to shimmer. For a split second, he saw two of himself, one blinking out of sync. The doors opened to a corridor bathed in red light. A name was scrawled on the wall. Len equals safe. He walked slowly, heart hammering. At the end of the hall, a door opened before he could knock. A wiry man with copper implants lining his jaw stared at him. You're the crosser? James nodded. I need to get back. Len looked him up and down. You're leaking energy. That breach didn't close behind you. Len grabbed a tablet and scanned James. It beeped. You're not just from another world. You're unstable. You're splitting. What does that mean? James asked, his voice rising. Len shut the door and locked 5 deadbolts. It means there's another version of you, here, and the city thinks he's a threat. James sat, stunned. So I'm being hunted for something I didn't do? Len shook his head. You're being hunted because you exist, in the wrong frame. Len placed the silver disc into a scanner. This is a location anchor. You'll need to return there to exit the breach. James peered at the screen. The coordinates pointed to the rooftop of a building labeled Archive Spire, Sector F9, miles away. Len tossed him a band with glowing nodes. Wear this. It masks your neural echo. Won't stop drones, but it'll buy you time. James strapped it on. The hum in his head lessened. For the first time since waking, the world quieted a little. Len handed him a small cube. This holds your memory anchor, your moment of divergence. Play it on the Spire's interface. Jump will follow. James clutched it. What if I'm too late? Len didn't blink. Then this place becomes you, and the original you fades permanently. He left Tow 19 reals as civic watch units patrolled below. Len guided him through an old rail map. Avoid Sector E. It's flooded, and watched. James moved like a ghost through Mercer City. The silver disc pulsed, showing the direction. He followed alleys, unused walkways, abandoned food courts. At a transit hub, a woman screamed as a drone dragged a man into the sky. No one stopped it. No one looked. James ducked through an exit tunnel, holding his breath as laser scanners passed over his body. The mask band held. He remained unseen. In Sector F9, Archive Spire rose like a needle through clouds, glassy, silent, but crawling with sentries. He needed a distraction. He followed a boy selling neural crackers hacking tools disguised as snacks. Got anything loud? James asked. The boy grinned. Moments later, alarms wailed 3 blocks over. A building flashed with strobes. The drones flew toward it like moths to flame. James ran to the base of the spire, breath shallow. His disc vibrated harder. The breach was thinning, his window closing. Inside, the spire was empty. Glass corridors lit up as he passed, reacting to his presence. An elevator awaited destination, auto-filled. Sky deck. Ascent. The city fell away below. Lights flickered across the dome's surface. Distant thunder rolled, not weather. Energy. The doors opened to wind and cold air. At the edge of the deck, a console glowed. He placed the cube into it. The air shimmered. A hologram formed, a bedroom. His bedroom. From his world. The moment he fell asleep, a clock read 2:37 a.m. He watched himself lying there, peaceful. Then a flash, like lightning, but it came from inside his head, the breach. The console asked, "Confirm anchor for return?" James hesitated. Behind him, footsteps. A voice spoke, "You don't have to go." He turned. It was himself, but colder, dressed in black, eyes sunken, jaw tight. "You made it," the other James said. "I knew you would." James backed away. "Who are you?" The other smiled. "I'm the version that stayed." "You came here and woke me," Dark James continued. "Now they think I'm a breach. They'll erase me." James's heart pounded. "You've taken my place." The other James nodded. "Not taken, just survived. You have a life back there. I don't." "Then come with me," James offered. The other shook his head. "One body, one soul. Only one of us returns. That's how the anchor works." The screen blinked. Anchor, unstable. Choose. Wind screamed around them. Drones were approaching. Fast. James looked into his other self's eyes. "I won't let you die." The other smiled. "Then you're weaker than I thought." A sudden shove. James fell backward toward the console. The other tried to pull the cube free, but it was locked. They grappled. Fists flew. One punch. Another. A crack. The sky opened above the breach, shimmered like torn silk. James lunged for the console. Slammed the button. Anchor confirmed. Commencing return. Light exploded outward. The last thing he saw was the other version of himself, smiling as he disintegrated into blue light, willing, peaceful. James woke in his bed. Same clock, 2:37 a.m. He sat up. No city sounds, no glowing domes, just rain on glass. But in his hand, clenched tight, a silver disc, still glowing. You ever wake up and things just feel off? Maybe the city hasn't changed. Maybe you have. This was BuzzWhispers. Sleep well, or don't. Thank you for listening. If this story stayed with you, subscribe for more mysteries that whisper in the dark. And I'll see you in the next episode.